Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Aizuddin Akmal bin Abdul Rahman from class 2 TSI. So I had been given an assignment on chapter 6 clustering. So in this video I will show to you how I solve it and explain to you properly about it. So let's take a look at the questions. This is the formula that we will use to calculate the Euclidean distance for each data from centroid. Question 1. Clustering is a division of data into groups of similar features given the following 8 points. A1 is 210, A2 is 25, A3 is 84, A4 is 45, A5 is 75, A6 is 64, A7 is 12, and A8 is 49, which represent the location XY of crime scene in Bukit Bintang area. Initial centroid point of crime scene are as follows: Pavilion, there is A4, Imbi Plaza for point A6, and Loyak Plaza A7 as shown in figure 1. So question A, use K-mean algorithm and Euclidean distance formula to find the member of 3 cluster centers. You are required to fill in the distance value in the blank space provided in table 1. For question A, we need to calculate the distance value for each blank space in table 1. So we need to use the Euclidean distance formula to get the distance. So firstly, we calculate the Euclidean distance from A1 to cluster P. So the calculation is square root of bracket 2 minus 5 power of 2 plus bracket 10 minus 8 power of 2, and we get square root of 13, and the answer is 3.606. So for the distance from A1 to cluster Q is square root of bracket 2 minus 6 power of 2 plus bracket 10 minus 4 power of 2, and we get square root of 52, and the answer is 7.211. And the next is we calculate the distance from A1 to cluster R, and the calculation is square root of bracket 2 minus 1 power of 2 plus bracket 10 minus 2 power of 2, and we get square root of 65, and the answer is 8.062. So for the next calculation for distance from point A2, A3, A4, A5, A6, A7 and A8, we just use the same formula, and we repeat the method that we use just now. As we can see, this is the complete data for table 1, and to determine the cluster tag for each point, we need to look at the smallest distance that from the point to the clusters. For example, the distance for A1 to cluster P is the smallest compared to A1 to cluster Q and A1 to cluster R. So the cluster tag for point A1 is cluster P. So for point A2, the cluster tag is cluster R. For point A3 is cluster Q. Point A4 is cluster P. Point A5 and A6 is cluster Q. Point A7 is cluster R, and point A8 is cluster P. For question B, compute the new cluster center centroid mean for cluster P, Q and R. Okay, so to calculate the centroid mean for cluster P, for x-axis 2 plus 5 plus 4 divided by 3, and for y-axis 10 plus 8 plus 9 divided by 3. So the new cluster center for cluster P is 3.6679, and the centroid mean for cluster Q is 8 plus 7 plus 6 divided by 3 for x-axis, and 4 plus 5 plus 4 divided by 3 for y-axis. So the new cluster center for cluster Q is 4.333, and the calculation for centroid mean R is 2 plus 1 divided by 2 for x-axis, and 5 plus 2 divided by 2 for y-axis, and the new cluster center for cluster R is 1.5, 3.5. Question C. Compute the second iteration process and then fill in the distance value in the blank space provided in table 2. To answer question C, the process to calculate the distance value are the same as in question 1, but the difference is that there are new centroid mean for each cluster. So this is the complete data for table 2, and as we can see, the cluster tag for each point is remain the same. For question D, determine whether the iteration process should be proceeded or stopped. State your reason. To determine whether the iteration process should be proceeded or stopped, it depends on the centroid mean. If the centroid mean after the second iteration remain unchanged, so the process should be stopped. And if the centroid mean are changed, the process should be proceeded. So as we can see, the calculation for the centroid mean after the second iteration remain unchanged. So the answer for question D is the iteration process should be stopped because the centroid mean are unchanged. Question E. Based on the answer for question 1C, draw the clusters of crime scene in figure 2 as follows. So this is the answer for question E. As we can see, point A1, A8 and A4 are in cluster P. Point A6, A5 and A3 is in cluster Q, and the last one, point A2 and A7 are in cluster R. Finally, we have answered all the questions given, and I hope you guys understand it very well. And that's all from me. Thanks for watching.